All right. Starting off with followed by Irish Bandits and following. This is the first episode of Gruesome Twosome. We'll see how this one goes, and we'll probably publish this close to the Halloween. Um, we just got done watching the new Terrifier 3. I think it's my new favorite Christmas movie. Well, it just sounds fine. Art is a big bad. Oh. And to get forced away. Oh, just, uh, as you guys can see, this is a spoiler full review. We are doing movies today that are well over 30 years old. Like someone, I know one of your movies is well over 30 years old.
Oh, absolutely.
I know a couple of mine are for sure. And I think the newest movie I have is in 2016. So,
I think mine is. I also have no idea what it is. Probably 2015 as well.
all right, so let's start off with the review. Uh, so at the end of the last Terrifier movie, by the way, again, spoiler alert. Um, well, on YouTube, I'll put this where the spoilers are for Terrifier 3. But first off, Art's head is alive. And the cop investigating the Terrifier is looking, and it's the first jump scare of the movie, and it fucking got me. It fucking got me. His dead body comes alive. And like, it just starts choking the. Okay, first of all, they do another trope in this movie where they kill an entire family before the opening title.
The beginning scene.
Yeah. And, if you accidentally put this on for your relatives, the starting thing, unless you actually know Terrifier, you can confuse, like, grandma, being like, oh, no, grandma, the little girl just thinks she hears, like, Santa Claus on the roof. Oh, that's it. It's not Santa Claus. He's not like Santa Claus, but it's not fucking Santa Claus. And, well, I think the dad had asked for an act. I think the dad probably asked for an act and just like, hey, here's the Christmas gift. Let's give it to Timmy first. Then let's go give it to Act for an Act. The Act for an Act.
I'm not a part of this guy. I I'm good.
What happened after that? Like, final part happens, and it starts from where the last movie ended. Again, a dead body literally is soaking with black guy with not just broke number one.
Okay, it's not any dead.
Black guy first.
Okay, it's not any dead body. It's a headless body.
Yeah.
With no blood on it. But it's just like, well, like this to the cop,
Yeah.
which I thought was fucking amazing. Oh, am I allowed to play?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's good. No, it's not peanut there. Yeah, just generally this poor guy after he calls for backup. But it's just like some serious Michael Myers thing, because he's crouched down, looking at, what are you looking at again?
He's looking at the hole that Tiana or whatever her name is, Beltry. So through the first movie, he's looking down there. He's like looking at the dried blood that was down there, and then he's looking back and all that shit. And then the dead body's there. He goes back. The dead body's there for the third time. And looks over the third time. It's not there anymore. And then boom, helping. He then gets onto a bus with the guy's head on top of his head. And then,
A lady just watching him.
yeah,
If there's only one other person on the train or the bus, and he's like a homophobe eating like candy or something from like Halloween, but
yeah, yeah.
and so he's big into.
I mean, look at that. I've had some of my Halloween time.
I think I've never seen this. I was even trying to knock out long before.
That's fair.
But basically, so only one person on the transportation unit because they can go through train bus. But he gets down covered in blood, but just pulling the dude's head up where it should be. After that, what happened? We
Uh,
went
he
to
took Garrett with the work security guard. He fell asleep on the job. Yeah, Burke. He did have one of the funniest lines, like, wipe your ass, you have a problem coming down here. Like,
fucking radioed the other security guards and like, get your ass, get your ass down here. I think we got a situation. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm taking a shit. Like, wipe your ass.
wipe your ass. Flat out tells him, hey, you gotta wipe your ass. Like, this isn't, you got a situation. Like, you fell asleep on the job. You fell asleep on the job. So I'm like, yeah. I was surprised he didn't do it effect, that one.
Okay, well,
Yeah, yeah.
well,
It's played by Garrett, so by the
it's
time
a
that
bird. Come on.
wow.
You gotta know that's the record screen.
Break down the walls of cervix hill.
You know that's gotta be after radio bird.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Speaking of RIP, there is a lot of mention, at least in our opinion, that the scene, Bray Wyatt, there's a scene where it's at the end of the movie, going towards the end of the movie, and Tom Savini's in it. So if I'm wrong about this, I'm wrong. I'm okay with being wrong. Okay, thank you. So there's a scene where Vicky from the first three, like
The one that got her face being eaten
Yeah.
by.
the one that gives birth to the head.
Yeah.
Which the head's alive and it's laughing and it's eating shit while fucking Vicky's eating shit.
It's eating, not fish, eating a nurse who
Yeah,
was
yeah,
yeah, from the last movie. She's like dead, being chomped on by his head.
And Vicky, look,
And Vicky's eating as well, but no one cares about Vicky.
we basically, Jericho dies. Not really that decent. Like,
I mean,
I would have expected more because I listened to a lot of Paul's Jericho or Thoughts of Jericho, and he's such a horror fan. You'd think that he would have more of a gruesome or death rate. I know he's probably, if he's here, he's probably, well, Mark, what do you think would have been a more, like, insane thing? I have a couple ideas for that. One is that walkie-talkie gets shoved down his throat. I don't know, but he had something else get shoved down someone else's throat later on. After that, they're riding on the subway. Just talking about Terrifier 2 right now. Spoilers. Yeah, spoilers. Haven't seen the movie. Come back in 10 minutes. 10 to 3 minutes. 3 to 10 minutes. I'm bad at time. Like, we just got done. Like, we waited for the after card scene, which you don't have to worry. It's not on card scene.
yeah, no, don't waste your time.
It ends with Art with talking with Tom, and that's how the movie ends. Which I never got enough space in that you started. That's okay. You probably got the world space now. We're just talking. We're not even past the point where we're 5 years in the past from when the movie actually takes place.
Yeah, I kind of seen it early.
So that apparently Art just like Vicky decides to take a bath. Art just decides to sit down. You come back 5 years later, and this demolition team comes in.
A demolition team of two guys.
Yeah,
I think they're just like checking around.
it sounds echoey.
Where did we leave off?
I think we just left off where Vicky goes for a bath. Art basically sits in a chair 5 years later, and then the demolition guys come back. This is your favorite scene, so I'm going to let you take the ball.
This really is because you can tell Art is visibly annoyed with Vicky throughout this whole scene because she's making noise and he doesn't really. He's a quiet guy. He doesn't make sounds. So he walks up to the attic and sits down, looking out of this small corner window, and he's in this rocking chair. He doesn't rock or anything. And
I'm good.
all right,
That's what you want when you're smoking one of those.
she sits down, does something to herself. I don't want to go too much into spoilers, but we did say spoilers.
Spoiler alert. She fucking cut like she does the Meg advice from Family Guy.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought about that too. So it's for attention, up and down for results. That's all I gotta say there. She went for results.
Yeah.
So,
By the way, I shouldn't have to warn. We are going to be talking about graphic natures on this show that we're trying not to go in or show anything on Twitch. But we do have to say this is an 18 plus podcast. So if people get offended by what we're talking about right now, this is in a movie. This isn't a Hollywood movie where they did a cardinal sin. I will save that for a little bit later. But yeah, these guys come looking, and well, Vicky stabs one.
okay, hold on. We're going a bit too far. I gotta finish my scene here.
Yeah.
So Art sits down and he just has one look on his face. Says, "You know the creepy smile that he has."
Yeah.
So okay, so that was that part. But then we go to Sienna and Sienna's bullshit.
I mean,
And this is where we kind of like go back and forth, jumping from Art and Vicky to Sienna. Jonathan isn't really mentioned too much at the beginning here.
no. And
I hate Jonathan so much.
I think what happened is you have two different movies here. And the movies collide in the end. But you have basically the victim of the last movie. You know, Art kind of left Sienna with the same kind of mental fuck up he left Vicky. Vicky wasn't strong enough. Vicky succumbed to whatever Art was. But she's having visions. Like the one scene I will mention is they're eating Chinese food, and the last victim of Art before the two survive is sitting there banging her hands on the dinner table.
Okay, so this actually was the scene that like got me a little like jump, and I don't really do jump scares, but so the camera is zoomed in on Sienna, and all you hear is someone say, "Please pass the rice." And
Could be anyone.
I thought it was his aunt, and the next thing you know, you just hear like someone takes both hands and just slams on the table, and it's just like, "Pass me the rice," and then it's her vision of her dead friend. Like all bloody, but I will say this, it kind of made me laugh. The mask the practical effects for her friend who's dead.
Oh fuck!
It looked like it was just like the worst rubber mask, just like tape on her face.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really notice that.
No, I did.
I was just like, holy shit, this is like some good like. This guy stays with you, but you know you have a couple of dad and daughter scenes. I don't want to stick on her too much because, besides seeing him in the mall, you know, she's just you feel bad for the lady because you know she's obviously gone through something in the first film. But let's get back to
The main guy.
the demolition crew comes up here, and this is where. I'm trying to set you up for the last two times. I'll say it then. So, the first guy gets stabbed by Vicky. No big thing, but she takes the freaking blade up with her for the next scene. This other guy is being thrown against one wall, the other wall.
This is so fucking.
He
gross.
comes in. He basically grabs. He basically grabs a nail and sticks it through his hand, and then takes his other hand, because the guy's trying to will him off with his other hand, and he bites the fingers and spits them out, and then he grabs his box cutter, slices his head off, grabs his head, and then all Art does is it's just
And
like
while he's
fuck.
doing this is the most like this grossed me out. Vicky comes up with the pane of glass that she
the broken mirror.
killed
Yeah.
the guy with, and she's like touching herself with it, and there's like blood coming out of under her dress, and she's just like rubbing herself like sensually like this while doing her thing, like fucking masturbating, and she's getting off to this shit.
You know, it's just yeah. Maybe she just has that kink play.
That's more than cake, man. What the fuck do you mean?
I mean, I'm just going with what our buddy said right here.
Fair.
But it's fair. So, again, for future people watching, this is live on Twitch. We will do this, then we will upload this on a new YouTube channel called the Gruesome Twosome, so you guys can see this, and then hopefully we can also get this on Spotify too. So then, I guess the next scene we got to talk about is that bar scene. Oh my god. Art the Clown is the biggest Santa Claus mark in the world. Dude, that would be a good idea.
You want a threesome?
Yeah, we might see if one time we can have you on a Discord call and then like turn on the background audio. So going back to Art and Santa, he gets so excited. He's just like so excited to see Santa Claus.
Walking by the window, fucking backtracks. He's like,
Pushes two bitches on the way.
it's like freaking out. Fucking runs in, just jumping up and down. After this is probably my favorite scene.
Yeah. I could see that. I like the mall Santa scene a little bit better, but
Oh,
that's
that's
because it
fair.
destroys a cardinal sin in horror movies. Going back to this bar scene, he's having a good time. The bartender's kind of a dick to him, but you know, it's fair. They get shots poured by Santa because Santa's like, you know, I like this guy. This is my guy. This is my guy. And Art is sitting on his lap
And he
at this
does-
point.
And he does the shot,
Spits in Santa's face, and then
pisses on Santa Claus's lap.
and that's where all hell breaks loose. Oh, thank you. You subscribe to Prime Gaming. Yeah,
That lasts for a while.
that does last for a while.
Wow.
Okay, so he pisses on Santa Claus's lap, and then all hell breaks loose. The one thing I will say, and I think I'm the only one that's annoyed by this, is Art the Clown is not afraid to use a gun. And at that moment, he shoots the bartender and Santa Claus's friend.
Hey,
And
buddy.
yeah. Oh man, we miss you too, guy. We're all here chilling. So if you guys have any questions about our top 10 list, we'll get to it after we're done discussing. Well, you got 5, I got 5, so it'd be a top 10.
Oh,
It's just
yes.
mixed together. It's
Yeah.
your top 5, my top 5, and it's just mixed together. I'll say my 5, you say your 5. We'll flip a coin, see who actually says theirs first. Or
Yeah.
playoff thing. If you want to be last one, say yours. But whatever. Like think about that. Going back to the scene. So earlier, Art is basically developing his weapons. He freezes a rat, which I literally decide I gotta see what my buddy is looking at right now because she's got pet rat. He had pet rats at one point.
I had
So I'm
rats.
kind of looking at this scene when Art's just like he grabs the frozen rat and starts fucking whacking it on the table. That's one part of this thing. He ties up this guy dressed like Santa, steals his fucking thing like classic Jack from Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack Skellington. He basically dresses like Santa Claus the rest of the movie up until he gets to the
Right till the end.
right till the end. Like
Why did
this,
he take it off?
I don't know. Maybe it got too bloody for him.
I think because he knew it was Sienna's house.
Yeah, he's just like I don't have to
jumping
play.
forward here. I apologize. But yeah, so
So
I'm tied.
he has him tied, and then he starts freezing each part of him to the point where he freezes his face, rips off his beard so he can wear his beard as Santa Claus. So
Because the Santa said like, "Oh, you know I'm the real Santa because I got the real beard."
yeah,
So Artist upset and have the beard.
the masterpiece of it, he steals the nose off of Frosty and shoves it on his face.
And his eye is like moving.
So my question is Santa Claus, is that guy dead?
Well, he's in a lot of pain, but I don't think he's dead.
Yeah, like that could be another harbinger for the art demon. I'm just maybe like Terrifier 6. Yeah, he comes.
Terrifiers.
Yeah, Santa Claus like saves Art the Clown, or Art saves Christmas somehow. He actually made Christmas more interesting.
Into like a.
He's dead. Well, we'll have to see, because I thought a lot of other people were dead in Terrifier movies.
I don't know, man. I don't think he's dead because you can survive like.
Yeah. Look at Vicky. Look at Vicky in these movies.
She was more fucked up.
So going back, the next time we see Art, he's walking by. Well, first of all, that fucking annoying Clown Cafe song comes on. I'm surprised that one of my movies actually has an annoying song in it. We'll get when we get there. So he then plays Mall Santa, opens up his toy sack, and all these kids are grabbing each present, like
Actual toys.
the actual toys, up until the one mom's calling out for this one kid's name. Art gets thrown off the set. The other Santa Claus is coming back out, and then boom, fucking explosion. All these kids are dead. Like, I mean that's a cardinal sin in horror movies. You don't kill the kids. Like, there's a lot of horror movies where they like leave the kids alone, and the kids are like one of the last survivors with the final girl. Like, I'm thinking Halloween. I'm thinking Nightmare. You know, there's a lot of ones where they just don't touch the kid, but Art doesn't fucking care.
No.
Art's chopping up Timothy, and Timothy is his first kill of the fucking movie, and it's a fucking kid. He blows up. Thank you. He's cheering. He gave the bit.
I don't know.
First time chat. Oh,
I don't know what that is, but I'm happy. Thank you, Diddler. Okay.
Yeah. So he then does one of the best. Well, first of all, he goes to the dorms, and he's wearing like these freaking like Christmas tree sunglasses, just kind of like jolling to the back. You know, he's going to go finish off Jonathan.
Yeah, this is Jonathan's college.
Yeah.
Also, one, he doesn't look like he's in college. He just has a really long neck, like baby giraffe. Two, his voice, like Jonathan is by far my least favorite character. Ever since the second movie, I just couldn't stand him.
Yeah.
He doesn't change.
No.
I hate him.
I think he's more of an asshole to his sister in this one, and he doesn't believe her, and he's like giving her the cold shoulder and all that stuff. She's just trying to make sure everyone stays safe in her family. Like, she's lost her mom, she's lost her dad, and Jonathan isn't there for her anymore, and it's just it'll fuck anybody up. Trying to go a little bit faster here. So we get a sour. Fuck. Peyton's just playing with all the stuff. We got say Slayer loud. Fucking Slayer tattoo right there. My pride and joy next to my kids.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. They're doing like all this stuff. Like, all this stuff over here will translate to here. We'll get some horror icons like jump scares, stuff like that.
See now.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. I'll play with all your stuff.
Something you can play with.
So we get up to where Art's at college. This one girl is like fangirling over him, and it's one of the funniest scenes because she's like, "I wonder what he smells like," and he just goes, "Like, oh, okay, I wonder what those eyes are," and it's just like it gets to the point where the next time you see them, first of all, she's straddling him to get like that interview with Jonathan.
And like he's just chilling, like almost in the doorway, and like while she's straddling him, he just has his head poking out, just.
Yeah, every so often, just you see Art in the background. It's just like, this is great.
Come with me if you want to live.
Thanks for the follow. Got another follow. Yeah, that's come with me if you want to live. The Emperor Boy, thank you for following there. So we get to the.
Sit back as I give you the gift of Jericho. Drink it in, man.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, the gift of Jericho. To Danky Bong's community for the first time. Boomer Kaylee 86 just got a tier. Thank you so much, the Emperor Boy. I'll have a bong hit for you in a bit here. I'm just trying to get to the end of this movie. So we have probably the most intense shower scene since the original Psycho. He brings a freaking chainsaw into the washroom, breaks the door down, and just starts fucking cutting these guys to pieces. At one point there, he takes off his glasses, looking eye to eye with this woman, and just an intense stare.
The girl that said that she wanted to see what was like in his Malsbury milk.
His dead eyes or something like that.
Like want to see like what was behind his eyes.
Yeah.
And he takes them off and he goes wide-eyed, just.
Well, you can't say Santa Claus isn't giving people their gifts for Christmas. Like, okay, Cole might want to be pegged by the girl. Oh, hold on. He gets pegged by the chainsaw. He gets probably, I will be honest, one of my favorite kills in this franchise is from the first one where the woman gets sawed in half. This is a second close. This is one of my favorite kills where he gets it up the poop shooter. He cuts him all the way up. You can actually see his like testicles on the inside of his body and dick.
You see his pecker just flopping around.
Yeah. At least he left this guy's dick alone. Unlike the fucking second Terrifier.
So we're in the theaters. As soon as that chainsaw goes up to do
we
that,
start fucking laughing.
All the guys ran away. We're going like, oh! And we were all like trying to close their legs because we can feel the pain for that poor kid, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Not only that, you and my wife and me were just fucking laughing. I was trying to fucking hold it in, but fuck, man, some of those scenes were just like with Art just doing a comedic thing at the end there. It's like, I didn't do that. Did I do that? So we go from that scene, which at the end he's starting to do like fucking snow angels in the fucking blood angels, man. Bloody angels.
Just fucking making it's like he's laying in a pile of blood or pool of blood. He's just.
Also, there's a lot of murder scenes that happen off camera.
Oh yeah.
Jonathan's scene happened off camera. You have Greg's scene happens off camera. You have the little girl scene that happens off camera. That happened on camera.
Sorry.
It's a good thing I got an air freshener in here somewhere when I smoke in here.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Did you hear that?
Fuck. Oh man, right while I was talking. Anyways, so we get to the final girl's house, which they kept them separated up until she wakes up and she thinks that her uncle and aunt are talking shit.
Oh yeah, saying like
Oh, what?
happened?
The 13 messages got. Oh, I gotta fix that for Aiden. He might have said something that Twitch didn't agree with.
Me?
No, Aiden there.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Aiden.
I don't know what he said, so I didn't really catch what he said there at the end. But he might be getting a timeout. That's all right.
He said right Ripper, and that's the one that drew the line.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. We'll.
Anyways, back
I'll
to
fix that.
yeah. So
Oh, he just used caps. That's probably what it is.
what's that mean?
I people can't like write in all caps. Yeah, it's an internet thing for yelling or something like that. I'm again like this is Twitch, so play along with it. Gets to her house, they're talking shit, and then he just beats her with a fucking hammer.
All right. Well, not only were they talking shit, but it was like
It's
Greg was saying like
yeah.
we could go up there and smother her, and then in a distorted voice you hear his Aunt Jessica, was it? And she's just going like, in a distorted voice saying like, oh yeah, we could totally do that. She comes down, and I thought this was all part of a dream or a nightmare, because just before this, Sienna was dreaming about her dad and like how the Princess Xena warrior outfit was.
Yeah,
like,
that I'm always with you. I thought the dad was gonna have something.
Yeah, so I was expecting this to be part of a nightmare for her, but no, like this is the actual thing. Like she comes down and there's the fucking Vicky demon lady, and there's Art with no Halloween costume or anything, but no Santa Claus outfit, and I was kind of upset by that. Like, why do you take it off? I'm a little upset.
What did the hat say to the scarf? You can hang around. I'll just go ahead. So
No, it's
she tries to go for the blade there, but Art kind of hits her with a hammer, knocks her out, ties her to the chair. They torture the mom by making her think that the head in the cage is her daughter. Spoiler alert, it's not, it's Jonathan.
It's Jonathan's head.
Yeah.
And I'm happy about that. That made me happy.
How they kill the mom is they force feed her like a freaking large ass like tube.
PCB or PCP fight or whatever that
Yeah,
tube
yeah.
called shit is called.
It's basically they put like one of these bong necks in her mouth and they shoved rats down by like torching the end of the thing so the rat would go down her throat.
Oh, but you missed like when you put it in, just took a hammer.
Yep. Yeah, to make it go in so the rats couldn't. Yeah. And then they took a knife and then slit the throat as the rats came out of her neck. And after that, you find out that Gabby's still alive. Gabby's Jonathan and Cien's younger cousin, and she's in a chair, and he started laughing every single time Art the Clown would come up and slap back of the head, slap back of the head.
It wasn't like either. It was like a full on, like just a fuck you for last time. Did it what 2-3 times? I think
Two
it was
times. I wanted it to be 3 times. She gets her present because they're still torturing her, and basically Art smashes her hands. And as soon as she touches the blade, she's healed. Stabs Art in the throat.
Cuts him in the throat, so he's like bleeding out on the ground with it like coming out. Fucking cuts off the head of
Vicky. And then this is where Gabby doesn't do anything.
No, she's just by her mom, and she sees Sienna struggling with something.
Yeah,
struggling. I think Art is like fighting her again.
Art's fighting chainsaw to sword, so you have that thing happening. She has Art pinned up against the wall, and then she has him pinned, and then something happens where there's hell.
The blood of Vicky's head was destroying. It was like acid, like a xenomorph
It
blood.
was like eating the floor, and then it threw Gabby inside of it.
Gabby just fell through.
Yeah.
And it's like a perfect square.
Yeah. And here's the thing: there was pieces of wood. Why did she grab the sword at the freaking blade, holding the sword, and then Gabby falls down to hell with the sword? We look back up, and Art is gone. He's escaped through the window. I thought there was going to be one more scare there, but the next time you see him, he's on a bus with a lady reading The Ninth Circle, which was a very good callback to the first short film of Art the Clown. Oh yeah, check it out.
I thought it was All Hallows Eve.
Yeah, but
Was
those
there another?
they had short films. They had like three short films before All Hallows Eve that are all included in All Hallows Eve. So all those short films you see in All Hallows Eve, they're the original art kind of thing. Then you go, and the next time you see him, he's on a bus, and then the last scene is him just honking the horn, and that drove this guy nuts.
Yeah, because when he got on the bus, he was just like in a. He wasn't him. It was just like blankly staring. It almost looked like he was blind, like just the milky white pupils.
Yeah.
So he's sitting there just across from the one lady on the bus, just like the beginning of the movie with this other lady, and he's sitting there, and he's just staring at her. And then his arm slowly. I'll use this hand. Arm slowly starts coming up with the horn. He honks it, and then he does his famous.
And that's it.
Yeah,
Now-
so there's a lot of setup for the fourth film here.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't like with the gore and the kill scenes here. I would say that those were probably some of the best scenes in the franchise. Each movie only had like a couple good kills. This one had a lot more gruesome kills. This one had a lot more inventive ways to kill someone where your favorite kill won't be my favorite kill. My favorite kill probably won't be your favorite kill. Same thing going out to the viewers right there. Some people might be like, the chainsaw one where he's cutting him, like the shower scene where it's a 2-for-1. It's like, that's fair. But splitting the head down. All right, buddy, we'll see you later. Hopefully we have you on this one of these days. Thanks for the love. We'll see you later.
Dickwad.
So what else was there?
So, one of the love you too, babe. But one thing that I kind of found amazing was when Sienna kind of realized that Bert was back. She said something that's straight from Family Guy. It's just we got to go back to the Terrifier.
Yeah, we skipped over a lot of parts there. There's a lot to the movie that we didn't really spoil. We don't care if we spoil it here.
We're just trying to keep up with time right now.
Yeah, we're just trying to be like, okay. I mean, you did say midnight would be probably the best.
Like I'm still down.
Yeah. So why don't we flip that coin?
Do we have a coin?
I have very suggestive coins in one of my DVDs. It's literally a coin that heads or tails.
I think there's one right over there.
Oh. People wonder about this. Oh, I don't have that. This coin.
Okay, well, I'll be a gentleman. You're the host.
I
You do got.
I do have a coin. It's just
It's
not.
not a money coin.
So I have a very suggestive one. So You want the mermaids? Wetter is better. Muff Diver Union.
I'll take Tails, the mermaid lady, because
Mermaid Lady.
I'll take mermaid.
Okay. All right.
And it's your go, my friend.
I'm going to choose to go last, so it will look like mine's number one. I'm just kidding. But I will decide to go last. So, should we go for a quick break? Let these guys get a commercial so that we don't get interrupted halfway through.
Ooh, that's smart. That is smart.
So that they can actually see the full video. So,
Yeah.
A few moments later.
all right, we are back. It's starting with you for number 5 for you.
Doing honorable mentions, or I'm jumping straight into number 5.
Yeah, let's do some honorable mentions.
Alright.
So I'll go with Halloween Rob Zombie 2007, the first one. I do like how fucking Alex from A Clockwork Orange, I can't remember his name right now, but he plays the doctor in that one, and he does a really good job, like fantastic job. So that's one I would put on for sure.
For me, I'll have to go with cult classic. Now, a lot of people don't say that this is horror, but the reason why the Killer Clowns from Outer Space is
Malcolm McDowell, yeah.
My honorable mention is because it paved the way for like cheesy, shitty horror movies. Because of it, I think we got The Lost of Pastor, Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
Slaughterhouse, and
Well,
now Gorefers, which I'm
with,
excited to
with,
see.
with you saying that one, I'm gonna have to go with Attack of the Killer Tomatoes as a very on par movie like that. Excuse me.
Cats. Well, just us, you, me, nothing but the internet watching us. Let's just do a little bit of role play. It's your lady. That's okay too. Watch.
All right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to. Oh,
You,
next
try,
time.
you trying to make OnlyFans here? The Gruesome Twosome?
Yeah.
Rubbing my nipples. Okay. We'll get to that very soon about nipple rubbing because there is a small spoiler there. Going back, so we were talking about Attack of the Killer Tomatoes and Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
That'd be my honorable mention just because it paved the way for those cheesy, crappy movies that I love.
I do have to give nod to Mars Attacks.
Oh.
I don't care if it's a comedy first. As a little kid, that movie gave me nightmares. So
Oh yeah.
I have to give, like, I have to acknowledge that movie, like Mars Attacks. Yeah. You got one more, cause
So I think I'm just going to do the one honorable mention.
you got one more honorable mention.
No, I'm just going to stick with one.
Oh. Then this is going to be just the last one. I do have to say Psycho. The original Psycho, with the shower scene, with what's his name, man? Like, I remember Norman Bates.
I was going to say Norman Reedus. I was going to say Reedus.
Yeah, Bates Motel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say I wish it would have stuck at the one movie that you didn't have, like the Bates Hotel, 2, 3, and 4. Like that's the problem with a lot of horror movies that a lot of people don't want to admit that you couldn't. Yeah, just honorable mention. All right, let's start this list off.
Go, brother.
Oh, I had the coin flip. I said you're going for the
Oh, I'm
first one.
going first.
You're going first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this first one for me is like the number 5. We're working our way up to number 1 for me. But number 5 for me is comes from the year 2013 and it's called Dark Skies. Now I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything with this one because it threw me for a loop when I first watched it.
I haven't seen it yet. What we can do one time is invite this guy over and just have a watch along. We'll start the movie. Tell you guys when we start watching this movie. We'll watch it on DVD or off my PlayStation 5 up here. We'll watch it by ourselves. Like we'll watch it and like let you guys do kind of like a watch along with us. Like that'd be a good idea. Like,
I'll
watch like live commentary and all that stuff because we were almost talking during the movie. Like I was whispering, like, "Hey man, he said it. He said it."
Yeah.
So that's me. I do a lot of commentating. That's why I love to watch a lot of movies at home because I say stupid shit and I think it's funny and I want to meet like-minded people. So
Yeah.
um
So yeah, for me, Dark Skies. I don't want to spoil it because it was not what I thought it was going to be
Yeah.
about, and I don't want to spoil anything. And it gets good. There are a lot of creepy scenes. I mean, there's a scene that involves the knight and a backyard and the father. But one of my favorite actors, J.K. Simmons, is in it, so you know it's got to be a good one there. Until Danky gets back, I guess I'm just gonna figure it out. And look at that, he's back, so I don't really get to do that. That's
you know, I do have to edit these videos, so anything you do say on here, I will pick up. Like I did a hot ones challenge.
oh, Rob, I think I'm screwed. He's
Oh no! Like I was editing my hot ones, and I heard my buddy John say, "I knew he was going to be the first one to piss out." Dude, I'm hosting the thing. If I need a glass of milk to stay in control a little bit, like fuck your shit. Like you're eating the bomb on me. Anyways,
What is your number 5?
number 5 was the hardest one to put on the list for multiple reasons because I kept going back to other movies and thinking of it. Like I could have put The Shining on here. I could have put American Psycho, but I decided to go with Silence of the Lambs. For two reasons. You have two horror people who almost have nothing to do with each other. Buffalo Bill never meets Hannibal Lecter. You have them both kind of operating on two different wavelengths. And just the opening scene there, where Hannibal Lecter is standing in the middle of the room, and I think someone says he doesn't blink at all in that
No,
movie.
he really doesn't.
He might blink a little bit or just to close his eyes while he's doing the melody in his prison. There's a lot of scenes that, if you haven't seen this movie, I recommend watching it this Halloween. I recommend giving it your all. This shows, it's been parodied a lot, but this is where we go back to the nipple scene. And the nipple scene is basically, you have Goodbye Horses. This one has also been parodied by a lot of people. And it's got that one scene where it's like, you fuck me, I'd fuck me, I'd fuck me hard. Quotable lines like, put the lotion in the basket. Or the one line that everyone thinks he says where it's like, good evening, Clarice.
Hello, Clark.
Hello, Clarice. You have that iconic final line where it's like, I'm having a friend for dinner, which it's like, you know what he means,
Literal sense.
you know. So it's just one of those movies that you got two horror icons. They're both working at different locations, and then he breaks out, and you get the classic Hannibal Lecter and all that mask shit, and his eyes are always bulging. you know, you gotta give Odin credit for that work. Anyways, what is your number 4?
So, mine would have to be the 2016 Star movie that we kind of just watched, Terrifier, the first one, series, one of 3. I chose this one over the other 2 because it was unlike other horror movies where there's like a main character
Yeah.
that survived. But this one, no, they get killed like what, 45 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like the classic cycle where you think you're following the one hero through the movie, and then she dies halfway through. Like, there is a lot of callbacks to older movies and all that stuff. I will say this: up until Terrifier 3, this one had my favorite kill.
Oh yeah, by far. I mean, mine is a bit different. I don't even think you know what my favorite kill in this movie is, but I have my reasons. But I think yours is going to be the most agreeable one.
It's the hacksaw scene. It's the cutting in half. When I first kind of read through the Wikipedia and said, "Oh, she got sawed in half," I thought it was like going to be like right down the gut.
Right across the belly.
Yeah, right across the belly. Yeah, hold on.
Right across. Yeah.
Right there, yeah.
Get the good belly balls.
Yeah. And then, so you have that scene. What's your favorite kill in this one?
My favorite kill is probably the one where the original May lady dies, where he shoots her in the head because he was trying with her shit.
Oh,
Bang!
fuck.
And he just annoys, just like, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I mean, yeah. Home Scream, all that, where you think, yeah. And then you have the Friday the 13th, where they always killed off the last girl in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about Terrifier? Because we did talk a lot of Terrifier earlier.
We did, but yeah, favorite kill in there. But and this was kind of like the gateway to what we're really going into, with like a lot of brutal kills being on film. Because when things get too brutal, they just like
You
do it
feel them.
off camera. But no, like in Terrifier, it shows you, and like it's meant to be so messed up.
Yeah. Like, I was complaining about the third one having so many kills off camera.
Yeah.
Like, that was kind of annoying, but going back to the past, you had a handful of kills that were off camera. So that is your number 4?
4.
All right. My number 4, and this is simply because this movie still creeps me the fuck out, is the original Exorcist. This isn't the Exorcist of Emily Rose. This isn't like the final Exorcist or anything else. This is the first Exorcist movie. This is the one with the priest trying to get her Reagan and all that stuff. This is where you have like intense vomiting scene. Like, this movie is one of those movies that started a series, and the series is something that I'm actually personally tired of, and it is demonic possession in horror movies. Where, and again, you have a lot of classic lines here and all that stuff. And anything you want to add?
I've actually never seen the
Okay.
original one.
That's where I won't go in anymore, and we'll add that to our list of watch-alongs, because you gotta check that movie out. It is a classic.
I know it's, your mother sucks in hell.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenes.
I did watch the second one though.
But I feel like you're either gonna watch the first one. The second one's very good, but it's not as good
Well,
as the first and third.
Well,
And the only reason I
one
didn't,
that came out recently,
yeah.
last year or something.
All right. Well, that is my second one. Is The Exorcist.
So I took 2 in a row. Because I said Dark Skies.
Yeah,
you,
then-
you had to go deal with.
Silence of the Lambs.
Oh.
Then you
that's
said
right, too.
Terrifier, and I just said The Exorcist.
Okay, yeah.
And now
So it's it is
your
my
turn.
turn.
Yeah.
Wait, so I'm going on number 3 now. What are you?
I'm going on number 3 after you say yours.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, for me, number 3, going to a classic, the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I love that. Freddy is my man. I like him better than Jason and Michael. And I'm not talking about like the one throughout the whole series,
Yeah.
but the original film where he's just like actually scary, not making too many puns. So he's still a serious character.
I do have to throw an honorable mention in for Nightmare, and that is my wife's favorite, Dreamweaver, I believe it's called, or Dream Warrior, something like that. We watched all of her Freddy movies, and then we watched all my Friday the 13th movie, Dream Warrior. Yeah, so that's my wife's favorite movie in the series. So
Nice.
I
like the original just because.
What's your favorite kill in that one?
I think you gotta go with the first kill, the one with the room where she's just like flying up, flying up on the roof, and like looks like she's being tossed around like a Caesar salad.
Yeah.
And she's just getting cut up all to hell. I love how they filmed that scene.
Yeah.
Just legit.
Her
floating around in a room that was like.
I do have to get mentioned to, is it Johnny Depp that gets that gets like hugged into the bed, and then blood just spurs up like Blood Cano. Yeah. Just because it's higher than the first one doesn't mean it's better than the first one, and vice versa. For me, my number 3 would be Terrifier 2. The only reason I will say it's better than Terrifier 1 is because they opened the world up to art. Art is no longer in one enclosed location of a basement of an apartment complex that's being fumigated. He is in the world. He's killing more than just the girls and all that stuff, like I do have to say, like, when he kills the costume shop owner, that was pretty good. Like, he was just like taking everything out of his bag, just playing with him. He's playing with the final girl too, by giving her purse to pay with.
And you also gotta remember the sunglasses scene. I think that's like the scene that stood out the most.
Yeah, but like he's trying on other stuff. They're like, hey, if you're going to put that in your mouth, you gotta spit that out or something. The most goriest kill in that one would be Allie. When I think she's dead, she's not, and when she's just like, it's just like
the famous bedroom.
Fuck. Yeah.
Like he's just torturing her at that point.
Nothing really. Like he did spray acid on that other girl's face, but for me that was kind of like, okay, we get that. Like,
when he sprayed acid on
so that one guy gets his dick chopped off, and then he takes the dick, rubs it up against the window where it says just the tip. And then that girl runs all the way into the kind of weird ass washroom scene.
That was like what, the scary maze?
Yeah.
The carnival?
Terrifier it was called.
What? Oh, that's why it says you have to go back to the Terrifier.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, ignore me. I'm just going off.
And then I hate to say it, but Clown Cafe, it has an annoying song in it, but it is a hell of an insane killing field that he does.
Oh yeah.
So it opens up the world. Art can go wherever. He's playing in school with a dead possum to just fuck with that kid.
That scene made me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, it's supposed to. It's supposed to terrify you.
He did it so well.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't scare me. It just grossed me out.
Yeah.
Like, that was amazing.
I mean, I'm in line for those ones. Like, I'm expecting that. All right, I'm kind of done talking about Terrifier tonight.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Good movie series. I think we've talked about all 3 Terrifiers tonight, so
We did.
yeah, we did. We had a very long conversation about Terrifier 3. We basically did a whole spoiler rundown of that movie. Now it's your turn.
I'm gonna move
I
on to
love
my-
this one.
My number 2, we actually had the same for this number.
Yeah, I actually crossed this one off. So my number 2 is actually your number 2, but I put in an extra movie because I'm like, hey, check my list out so we're not talking about the same movie.
Right. So I'm going to go with, I think it was 1974, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
I think it was 74.
This is another one I would love to do a breakdown for, like
Oh,
scene by
yeah.
scene, because you know we talk about the original scene where they pick up the hitchhiker and he's just acting fucking crazy with a knife and just all that shit. But I think the scene that me and you will both agree is the most insane scene. It's the dinner scene. Yeah.
My mind's kind of tied. I mean, I think the scene that really like freaked me out was the first big. I can't remember his name, but he looking in the house like, "Hello, anybody home? Need your help?" Then he walks in like just past the steps. So like here's the stairs, and then on this side is the metal door.
Yeah.
So Leatherface comes out, hits him over the head with a hammer, and you see his body like twitching, like his legs are just like
Yeah.
kicking. And then he slams the door shut, and that noise, a shunk. That's what scared the crap out of me.
Oh yeah. All right.
Absolutely, Rob. I'm there with you. I think we got a whole list going on here.
Oh yeah, we got a whole list of movies. Well, that's what happens when you start a horror podcast. You're like, now should we do watch alongs as well? Like, if we can't think of anything to do one time, we'll do these lists, but like maybe watch alongs and talk about like future installments of movies that are coming up. Like, keep our ears to the ground. This one, I'm actually really proud that this made the list. This would have been my number 3, but Evil Dead, the original. So,
Number 1.
number 1.
We're
And
serious.
this is just because how much of these effects, these practical effects, were done using stop animation. How they made a whole series off a $10,000 movie. I don't even know how much this
Was
movie.
it 10?
It was very low, the cost of this movie, but it was done with such love that you can feel the passion coming through on this film. This is one of the movies where I did a full. I was in media school when I was younger, when I was in grade 11, and we had to study a movie. I chose this movie because it was so. It wasn't the fact that it had the best effects, but it had heart behind it to make these effects look as good as possible, and it launched the careers of the guy that plays Ash,
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell. So it really launched his career, and not only that, it launched 2 sequels, and each sequel was getting better than the last movie. But with how much heart this movie has, and how almost Cabin in the Woods like feeling it is. Like Cabin in the Woods, I also have to throw in. Like that was one of my other favorite ones. I just fucking forgot to put that on the list.
Cabin in the Woods, really?
Yeah, have you ever seen it?
I have.
I like the end where it's just like, hey, let's do this wheel and see how they die, and it just feels like Ash and his friends went to, like, maybe Cabin in the Woods is a prequel to this movie, Evil Dead. I don't know, but it's just. Have you ever seen the original Evil Dead?
Well, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I watched, original, second. So that brings me back. Here comes this question. So it goes Evil Dead 2, but then Evil Dead 2 is more of a redo, not a remake, but a redo of the first one.
Yeah.
Or was it an actual sequel? That I still don't know what the hell was going on.
You know what? We'll have to go back and watch these movies, because a lot of these movies I watched like 12 years ago, and I don't watch them all the time. It's still fun. Well, maybe it's a little fog because of this little magic leaf. But all right, what is your number one favorite horror movie? I know this because we've traveled in vehicles before, and I intentionally did not put this on my list.
Yeah, you know me too well. I mean, anyone who knows me knows it's probably my all-time favorite movie. But yeah, you know what it is, Rob. We all can agree that it is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh man, it's so fucking good.
Right?
So fucking
so
good.
good. I turned it off like halfway through. No, of course it's not Winnie the Pooh. That movie was fucking shit. I'm talking about The Thing, Outpost 31. I'm repping the hoodie right now. Come on, baby. Antarctica Research Outpost number 31. Come on, baby. Let's go. This movie, I could talk about it for hours. I think I've already have before. I think I'm starting to piss people off with how much I love this.
Well, that's what this podcast is for. You get to say it all at once, and we never have to hear it again.
Just watch it again if you want to hear me ramble about it for ages. But yeah, no, I mean, I think this movie was so much better than what everyone originally thought it was, because like obviously movie critics, when they first saw it, they were like, "Oh, this is terrible," because this movie came out like what 4 or 6 months after E.T. did. So one, you have a nice friendly alien who's just like, "E.T. go home."
Phone home, I think.
Phone home. Mandela effect, baby.
Yeah.
But you got this nice little family-friendly alien, and then you got this gross, disgusting parasite of an alien that consumes people, and then he splits himself off to assimilate them. And then this is the leading movie for practical effects. I mean, there's nothing better than practical effects. CGI sucks, anything like that, but like, come on, like,
I mean,
so many scenes in this movie that's just amazing.
There's some CGI that's all right, like Lord of the Rings. I'm gonna say like fucking Terminator 2. But as you guys can notice in this list, almost everything is practical effects. Like even Terrifier 3 was a practical effect. I like knowing that what's dying on screen is an effect that they're using, and it's a classic effect. My favorite part of this movie is the end, where both of them are sharing a bottle of whiskey or something like that.
Yeah. What was it? J&B whiskey?
Yeah. And apparently, if you look very closely, you're looking for the guy that's breathing actual, like
The smoke coming out.
smoke, like bro.
You're in winter. You're breathing hard, and you get the fog.
You see your own breath.
Yeah.
That's the guy that's not the thing. The other guy is the thing. But
then there's so many theories to this. This is why I love it so much, because every time I watch it, I'm just like, or is it like that or that? Because I mean, movie's been out for over 40 years, and I'm going to spoil the fuck out of this thing. But McCready, his undershirt was torn up, so thing tears through clothes. But then, also, this is one that not many people have noticed, but I actually did a deep dive when I first watched this movie, and this is how I found it out. But when, who was it? Knowles and McCready are going to the shack to check on Blair, you can see that Childs is wearing a blue parka, a blue jacket.
Yep.
And then when he walks up to McCready after like everything's exploded, it's just him, and he's wearing a light brown one. So he probably tore through his original one, and he has the new jacket there. So who tore through McCready's undershirt?
There's a lot of theories, and that's the movie keeps you asking questions.
Yeah. Also, one last thing. I swear it's the last thing about it from my part, but I'm so excited for the remastered version of the Thing game. It's coming out. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah. That one's going to be interesting. Well, I guess it's the final number one, and much like Austin here, I'm repping merch of it. It is Devil's Rejects. Now,
Not House of a Thousand Corpses.
well, the reason I didn't put House of a Thousand Corpses on this list is it shows a lot of similarities with The Hills Have Eyes, with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It has a lot of those kind of similar vibes. Where if you were going to talk about The Hills Have Eyes or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like I knew was going to make our list because it was on my list, it was on your list. So instead of having a very similar movie, I decided to go with a movie that, much like Terrifier 2, instead of having your villains on a property, you let them go on a road trip. And from the start of the movie, when they're battling the cops on their property and they're escaping, you hear the Midnight Rider play, which is a great song. It actually inspired Dusty Rhodes' character. Every time they call me the Midnight Rider. They kill someone and they're on the run. They don't go back to the farm till the very end of the movie. This is kind of like Austin's, where I can talk about this movie all night. What I do want to say is you have a lot of insane kills. Some of the kills go back to the original movie, House of Thousand Corpses, where you have Otis wearing that one face mask when he goes back to the hotel, and then he throws it on the fucking woman, and she goes out running and gets hit by a semi. And then you see one of the coolest two people on the history of the world, Diamond Dallas Page and Machete.
Danny Trejo.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the dynamic duo or whatever. I can't remember what they're called in that movie. But again, this is one of those movies that you will have a lot of quotable lines. I think one of the most quotable ones is, "What do you mean you don't like clowns? Aren't we fucking funny?
Don't we make you laugh?"
And then just that one line where it's like, you better have a reason for you not liking clowns, or I'm going to kill your entire family. That tortured.
Whole fucking family.
That tortured that kid.
Oh, yeah.
You have the whole, I am the devil and I'm here to do the devil's work. And then at the end of the movie, it ends on a high note. I would have preferred them staying dead, because if you were going to do a fucking trilogy, you should have shot it before Sid Haig got sick, because you got one scene in that movie and it was just like, fuck, man, like, cameo, you can't even breathe from hell. It's, sorry, you're missing you. Like, I'm sorry, Midnight Wolf, you didn't do the Captain Spaulding for me.
I mean, like, he was a good character. If he was in the original movies,
if
he would have been perfect.
Yeah, if he would have carried
but
on.
they tried replacing Spaulding, but unfortunately, it can never replace the Captain.
Yeah.
But so here's a question for you. Rob Zombie says that these are meant to be 3 individual films. Now, I believe that the first one, it could be its own film.
Yeah.
But the last two,
the last two has ties going back to the previous film. So it's the brother of the cop that dies in the first film that sets onto the ranch.
Mm-hmm.
And then how he gets released is he recognizes Machete. And they even make reference to how many bullets they get hit with. This is a hard thing about when it comes to art, because art is in the eye of the beholder. Even if the original artist says these are supposed to be 3 separate films, that's fair. But you have it where you have the one writer who's the director, who's also the producer making these movies, and he's intentionally putting those lines in. I don't hate the third film as much as everyone thinks I do. I just think the third film could have been better if shot earlier before Sid Haig got sick. That's all I'm saying. I don't hate the third film, but I have to say, out of all the movies, The Devil's Reject has an um, amazing sound, amazing music playlist. Like they have banger after banger in that movie. They have some of like the most craziest scenes, like the hotel scenes and the killing of Banjo and Blue Ski or whatever it's called. Uh, can't remember, but it's this traveling band, and Otis kills them in like this desert area, and then Baby kills the other two in the hotel. Well, no, the one runs and dies from a truck.
I was going to do something incredibly bad. I was going to do the Chinese, Japanese, look at these things, but I can't do that with my eyes. I don't want us to get.
Yeah.
I caught myself with that one. Ooh, we're lucky.
Watch the movie if you want to see what scene we're talking about. Baby's kind of like, it's one of those scenes. It's an intense scene too, because Otis basically makes a woman grind on his pistol, which is insane.
There's another scene that made younger me very happy.
Yeah.
But so with that film, and specifically the series itself as well, but I think the Three from Hell like really put it into one movie.
Yeah.
It starts off as a horror and then turns into an action, and you at the end of the movie you're kind of cheering for the three.
Yeah, that's also the hard one with this one is the real villain of this movie is the cop, and it has like if you still treat the Fireflies like they're villains, which people still should because these are not likable. Like these should not be likable people. They're going around killing people, and honestly, the cops are trying their best. Yeah, they go around it in a very bad way of torturing the mom, and the one cop's an asshole. That's just fair to say. Um, Again, go watch. We haven't spoiled the other movies on this list, but there you go. So my top was Silence of the Lambs, The Exorcist, Terrifier 2, Evil Dead the Original, and Devil's Rejects.
And mine was Dark Skies, followed by I think it was Dark Skies, the first Terrifier, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then The Thing.
Yeah.
Didn't even have to look at my notes.
So we'll have to see about next Saturday if we want to do another one. We might do a watch along of one of the movies if you want to come after work.
I think that'd be a nice little.
We could also start a little earlier. Have this just on a Saturday. We'll basically put this on at like 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that gets
7, 8, yeah. Gives us enough time to set up. So we'll run a poll and see which one we want to do. But anyways, guys, we are. Where's this ending? There we go. That's all, folks.
Yep.